top players compete on the leaderboards. There's a leaderboard for honey, for the ant challenge, and another for battle points. We'll take a closer look at these later. Right now, it might feel like making honey takes forever, but there are quests given by Science Bear that make conversion faster. And we can start working on those as soon as we have 10 bees hatched. So you just have to be patient with it for a little bit, but there are ways to assist your statistics and make parts of the game move faster. There are items hidden all over this game. Tickets, royal jelly, star jelly, pineapple, tickets. Many of them can only be accessed once you've bought a parachute or a glider, which is the better version of the parachute. It is possible to access outside the world in the game. There are also places where you can go through the wall, like in the pineapple field. So if you happen to find yourself stuck, you're going to need to reset your character. If you have to reset your character, you will lose all the pollen that you just collected. So try not to get stuck that way, but if you do, that's the best way that I've found to deal with it. When you die, your bees have a short cooldown period. So if you're in the middle of a fight with a mob, you can run right back to the mob that you were fighting, but your bees will have a delay before they'll catch up with you. So in the ant challenge, you can die and not die because of your regeneration rate, and so you can get stuck in the ant challenge without your bees for a little bit, which can be interesting. It felt like pollen collection was taking a really long time, so we needed to upgrade to the next pollen collection tool. There was enough honey left over to buy our second bee. Let's hatch that bee and go kill our first ladybug, our first mob. I try to get as close as possible to the bushes where the ladybug spawns, and then back up to the edge of the field so I can leave the field completely and disengage if it looks like I'm going to die without killing it. You can see in the bottom right corner with the yellow message that a seedling has sprouted. We're going to collect red pollen for black bear with our newly purchased magnet, a pollen collection tool. This is the most basic type of seedling. There's the regular seedling, the rare seedling, the epic seedling, and then the legendary seedling. Each is colored slightly differently, and each is worth a corresponding amount more of items once the pollen has been collected in the field to reduce the seedling count to 0. Then the items will pop. There will be treats, strawberries, pineapple, blueberries, sunflower seeds, royal jelly, tickets, sometimes eggs. It's about to be nighttime, and normally we'd be chasing fireflies, but we don't have access to most of the fields where the fireflies go yet. But when we do, you'll run around in a circle and basically touch each firefly to cause it to hover in the air above the field. And where it was, you'll see green goo that'll spawn either honey or a ticket. And in the middle of the circle will be a moon charm. And the moon charm eventually allows you to get a moon amulet once you've collected 100 moon charms. But right now, we're going to go and take care of that seedling. When you go to your hive to make honey, it's a good opportunity to check your quest list and see if there's anything that you completed while you weren't paying attention. And it's also a great opportunity to look at your badges and see if you've completed one and you have tickets to collect. We're going to talk to Black Bear and get the reward for collecting 600 red pollen. Now there's enough honey to buy our third bee egg. And to go hatch it, we're finally going to go back to the sunflower field and work on that seedling. This person that just came into the field with what looks like almost a regular beehive, as one would think of one, is called a Porto hive, and it's one of the better pollen collection containers. It's the second best pollen collection container in the entire game, so this person is more advanced than we are. Normally, I wouldn't leave with a seedling this close to sprouting. However, the person that just entered the field parked themselves right by the seedling and is probably going to go away from their keyboard AFK, and I probably have time to make honey and get back to the field without missing a thing. I'm going to talk to you about sniping here. It isn't particularly good form, but I hate to see honey and items go to waste because of a player that isn't even at their keyboard and watch items despawn. Your mileage may vary. While your bees are this low level and you have so few bees, you don't spawn very many ability tokens. But a higher level player is spawning a lot of ability tokens, and there are a lot of animations, and it gets harder for them to find the tokens that they need like the link tokens or the other tokens that they're looking for with all of the animations. And then if you add your ability tokens to what they're trying to do, it makes it even harder for that higher level player to play their game. I don't always succeed at it, but I do try to be a good sport and leave everybody some space in the field. And unless they're crowding me, I really do try and leave other players alone. I do recommend it. One of the things we haven't really discussed is royal jellies and how they're helpful. When you use a royal jelly on a basic bee, you can get a different type of bee, sometimes a red bee or a blue bee. If you have enough different kinds of red bees or different kinds of blue bees, you can get into red headquarters or blue headquarters. And then you can get a red field boost or a blue field boost, and this really will help you move along more quickly in the game. Once you've hatched 25 bees, you can reach the mountaintop field, and you can also get a boost for your white pollen. With less than 10,000 pollen left on the seedling, there is no way I'm leaving this field. I will just hang out with a full pollen container and collect items as soon as everyone else gets them to pop. The higher level player in the field has at least one gifted bee, and you can tell because this gold star in the field with purple edges, that ability token, is called an Inspire token, and that player is getting double the pollen for 5 seconds while that Inspire ability token lasts. Now that we've finally collected one royal jelly, I can show you how this works. You just drag it to that particular bee, and we discovered a new type, a rad bee, which is one of the red bees. And this particular bee loves strawberries. So, because this bee loves strawberries, you will get double the bond that any other bee would get by being fed strawberries. So, you want to make sure that you feed the right treats to the right bees, or you're sort of wasting them. Now that we've completed the Bonding with Bees quest, we're going to go talk to Mother Bear so we can start on the next portion of the quest. And this is why we didn't use any more treats than were absolutely necessary at that point to just work on that rad bee right there. I hope you liked this video and you found it useful. I'll keep continuing to make them. Please click like or subscribe, and I'll see you next time.